Well, it finally happened. The London hard fork for Ethereum is live. What does this mean for Ethereum's price? We'll take a look next. Alright, so the big news is that the London hard fork happened a couple hours ago for Ethereum, as you can see here on this chart, right around here. Let's backtrack a little bit. As you recall, we're still in the middle of this breakout from this big W pattern. Our ultimate goal is up here around $3,100. So since that happened, we formed this diamond top pattern. We broke down from that. This was around this resistance mark around 2630 here. Broke down from that. Then we also noticed that we had formed this rising trend line here, and we were watching this to see if we could stay above this trend line. And we said that if we did break above the trend line, that's when we'd likely see a move higher. And yesterday we saw that move, and we went all the way up. We zoomed up within a few hours up to 2775. So a huge move in a short period of time yesterday for Ethereum. Once we reached 2774, though, we were at a couple points of resistance. So the first one is this support, this orange support line, which dates all the way back to January. So this is kind of the support line for the overall movement this year in Ethereum. You can see we broke below the trend line when we had this big downturn in May, and we've been below it and trying to get above it. So yesterday we reached the trend line and we couldn't break above it, and now it looks like we might be trying to break above it again. Another thing to look at, though, is in terms of the Fibonacci sequence. We were right up at the 61.8% mark yesterday, so we reached that mark, and that's where we kind of stopped. So we definitely had resistance here. So let's take another look, though, let's take another look back and see what's happened in the last day or so with all this price action for Ethereum. So again, yesterday we were right about here. We were looking at see if we could break above it. We did. We met the resistance here. I talked about the Fibonacci level here. We broke back down. London hard fork happened right about here, and you can see when this happened, we had this huge wick down. A lot of times people sell the news when something happens, so there was a little bit of sell pressure here that took the price down to 25.30 level. But you see, we quickly recaptured support above this trend line, this long-term trend line. So we're back above it, and in the last 2 hours since the release of the hard fork, we've seen a pretty steep increase in price and a lot of volume as well. So overall, the reaction to the hard fork for Ethereum seems to be very positive. We are now setting a new short-term high here, and we again appear to be potentially breaking into and above this long-term channel. Now, of course, the day is not over. We could drop back below, but it's looking good in terms of potentially setting a new mark above this level, and also from the Fibonacci standpoint, breaking above the 61.8% Fibonacci level as well. So right now it looks like the 2630 mark is our new support level for Ethereum going forward. And our next target is the 3100 level. So moving forward for Ethereum, the next thing to really look out for is the next big area of resistance. Right around here, right around this $2,900 mark, you can see here and here and here. Probably the last big area to work through to get to $3,100. If we look at the volume profile, this over here on the left, this is the actual traded volume of Ethereum. So we can see where we have to sort of work through to go higher. And we've already gotten through a lot of the high volume areas here. So once we break through this $2,900 level, things could actually move pretty quickly through 3,100 and potentially even up to 3,250-ish, about the 3,250 level. So things looking very, very bullish for Ethereum. The reaction to the London hard fork appears to be quite bullish. All right, looking at the Ethereum to Bitcoin price, you can see this descending triangle pattern that we broke out of a few days ago. Our ultimate target for this breakout is around 8.7 cents or 8.7% of the price of Bitcoin. And you've seen after the breakout, we've continued to move higher. So Ethereum continues to outperform Bitcoin. And the price now is over 7 cents, so over 7% of Bitcoin. So we've made quite a bit of progress on the way toward the ultimate target here of this price. And overall, look for Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin over the next few weeks. All right, turning our attention to Bitcoin. As you recall, Bitcoin broke out of this falling wedge pattern. This is the hourly chart for Bitcoin. And yesterday we had a nice move up, almost reaching $40,000 before falling back down, just as Ethereum did around the same time yesterday as well. If we take this over to the 4-hour chart, though, you can see we talked about this support line for Ethereum at around the $36,800 mark, and how we thought this would be the support that would allow us to move up from this falling wedge. And sure enough, that's what happened. We never reached the support line. We broke through the falling wedge and moved higher. Now, the real question, though, is this just a throwback to take us more or less to the same point of the breakout, or are we going to continue down farther and break support here at the $36,800 mark? Well, so far it's looking more and more like it's just a throwback, because we've had a nice turnaround here in the last 4 hours, the last hour actually. And even though price moved below the EMA ribbon here, this green cloud, we're starting to approach it again. So the real question is going to be, can we get a 4-hour close back above the EMA ribbon for Bitcoin to confirm this was just a simple throwback, or is the EMA ribbon going to be resistance for Bitcoin and have it move down towards the support line again? Looking at the 1-hour chart for Bitcoin, you can see that we actually had a bearish MACD cross yesterday, right as we were starting this descent down. But now it looks like we might be heading more back up towards a bullish conversion. And you can see that on the 1-hour chart, the price has moved back above the EMA ribbon. On the 4-hour, MACD is still positive. It got close to breaking bearish, but it's maintained now and appears to be moving back up. So the MACD actually looks pretty positive for Bitcoin as well. And looking at Bitcoin on the daily, we've maintained support above the EMA ribbon. We went down and almost touched the EMA ribbon here before bouncing back up. So overall, this to me looks like just a throwback, and we should resume moving back towards the resistance line of 41,500. As you recall, the target of this breakout from this falling wedge is this line up here. So if we can at least get back up to this level, we will have completed this chart pattern. So overall, Bitcoin's still in a bit of purgatory here between this support line and this resistance line. It hasn't broken out the same way Ethereum has. And that's reflective in the Ethereum to Bitcoin price as well, where Ethereum is definitely outperforming Bitcoin. All right, last but not least, let's take a look at Cardano. As you recall, we broke out of this descending triangle pattern, and our goal, our target price for this is up around $2.07, about $2.07. And we've continued a nice ascending run here. You can see we're slowly marching up. You can see the EMA ribbon is going up and price is being supported. This is the 4-hour chart, by the way. So we've seen that price has continued to be supported by this EMA ribbon all the way up, and we're just sort of trending up this way, which is nice. Fibonacci lines for Cardano, we can also see that it broke above the 50% range, a week or so ago, and the next target really is 61.8%, kind of the golden ratio. So that's around $1.56. That's really, we want to see price get above $1.56 for Cardano here to set trading range back up in here again. But overall, things are looking pretty good for Cardano. It's marching higher. Daily, we're also above the EMA ribbon. It's still upside down in terms of the 20 EMA is below the 50 EMA, but it's trending in the right direction. So Cardano looks really bullish. That'll about do it for today. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please do give it a like and subscribe to this channel, get notifications, and until tomorrow, thanks.